Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Scott Smeester, founder of CIO Mastermind, a peer-powered community and leadership accelerator devoted to transforming CIOs and tech leaders into indispensable business executives capable of driving strategy, alignment, and digital transformation. Scott,
Perfect.
the Founders Future. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime. I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take me back to before you started CIO Mastermind. What were you doing beforehand? And then what was really the motivation behind starting the company?
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur since I got out of college. I call myself a geek with executive tendencies because I've always been around computers since I was a little kid. I've been programming. I went to school for civil engineering, got a degree in that. And following college, pretty just a few years out of college, I started a company that was designing and developing high-end kind of database-driven websites with programming and whatnot. I built this company. This was back in 97. That was the start of it. And from there, I've always been involved with B2B type technology companies and rolling out cutting edge type technologies for companies in various different ways. I became a co-founder of a different type of company in 2005. That company ran until about 2010. Following that, and this was a company that went through, we had a really tough recession. That company did not make it off the ground. We had to roll it out, had to close it up. And following that, I really needed to do something financially for me and my family. So I went back into the workspace and I started programming again. I started doing web development, maintenance, and all different kinds of things. And I really was challenged in those roles because at that time I was in my 40s now, and I've done a lot of different types of businesses, lots of stuff with technology. And so I just started really just naturally fell into the role of a kind of a CTO mostly. I was more of a technical, hands-on leader within technology in the tech space. That led to me doing more interim type of work and fractional type of work, which is what it's called now. But back then it was more like contract work and consulting for CTO level work and whatnot for both risk and just development and automation, all that kind of stuff. I really was lacking the ability to share my what I was going through, and what I really needed was a small group of other CTOs and CIOs who are not just working in theory, but doing it. And I
Yeah.
needed a space where I could be the center of attention for with at least a couple of them would be great. And it would be nice to have a half an hour or more with some of these. What I ended up developing was peer groups for CIOs and CTOs that does just that. And I also wanted it vendor free. I wanted it confidential and facilitated. And I wanted to be the center of attention. I'm not all the time, but sometimes just look, you guys need to concentrate on my problem right now. And this is what I'm going through. I wanted to be able to get enough space to talk about what I was going through,
Yeah.
then have them understand the context by asking questions, and then they speak into it to me, or even debate each other even better. If they're like, yeah, what about this? I leave that with trusted information, something I can take to the bank. So that was the beginning of what we built. And since then, we've been doing a lot more coaching, team training, working within CIOs and CTOs teams because they're also geeks with executive tendencies and they need some of those skill sets. So that's really the background of it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you breaking that down. I'd love to dive into the offer to give the listeners more context.
Mhm.
Obviously, your ideal client is CIOs. Is there anything that you would add to that?
So we work with tech leaders that are within or reporting into the C-suite. who
Got
are navigating change, who are trying to be seen more strategic, driving cross functional transformation. A lot of times that's not just a CIO. Sometimes it's a CISO, which is a security officer. Sometimes it's a CTO, a technology officer, but sometimes it's also directors. Our sweet spot is the mid-market companies or small
it.
enterprise, small and medium-sized enterprises. You'll find that a lot of times they don't have an actual CIO. What we do is we're saying, look, we work with the person that's the highest in the organization. We work with them, we work with their team,
Got it.
whatever the title might be.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. When you say mid-market, small to medium-sized enterprises, is there like
Yep.
a lower limit in terms of we only work with them if they hit this threshold or above, or is there nothing like that?
No, no, we don't have minimums.
Got it.
The sweet spot is between 500 employees to 5,000. But
Got it.
we've worked with startups. We've worked with
I see.
CTOs of startups who have to navigate the same challenges and problems within a C-suite or a board. Even if it's just a 20-person startup, they have the same challenges. And we've been very successful with them too, because we're not talking about a specific technology. We're not talking about any yeah, and it's not about technology. It's about leadership, and leadership transcends whatever size the organization is. A
Got it.
CEO is a CEO in a small company, in a big company. They're
Yeah.
driven, they need the same answers. They need their tech leaders to be looking at technology as a business driver, a revenue growth catalyst, a way in which it can help prevent risk. That's all the same across the whole level.
Got it.
Yep.
What is your core offering? So when you're working with these leaders, what does it actually look like to work with you? Walk me through that.
So we have, like I told you, we have coaching, we have peer advisory groups, we have assessments, we do training for the tech executives. And so we have different packages that can wrap up a number of different things. Our largest package is a year-long membership in a peer group, along with 12 sessions of coaching, along with assessments for their team and their whole department, along with training, 3-day trainings for their team. And that's somewhere in the 20,000 range. We have another package that is just peer advisory group membership and coaching, 6 sessions of coaching for just the executive and the CIO or the whatever again the title is. That's in the neighborhood of 10,000. And then just a membership within a year long within peer advisory group too. That's somewhere around the $6,000 $6,500 range.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which of
And we
those,
customize all that stuff too as necessary.
which of those would you say is the main driver of revenue? And which would you say is the one that you're really looking to scale?
So the main driver has been peer advisory groups,
Got it.
but we're getting a ton of coaching right now. And what we're embarking on, what's needed and where we're finding a lot more need is in the team training, is in the people, the direct reports and some of the people, because CIOs and CTOs and whoever's leading it, a lot of times they're lacking the leadership that they need within their own teams. And so they're looking for an organization like us who can walk alongside them and bring them up, monitor and diagnose where challenges and problems are, and then coach those leaders who they've identified work well, but need certain skill sets.
Got it. Got it. And that's the year-long membership that you're talking about right there, right?
That was the larger, yeah, that comes with
Got
the
it.
peer advisory group,
The
12 sessions of
coaching,
that, 12,
training.
yep,
Yeah.
meetings, all of that.
Well, I guess when it comes to client acquisition, customer acquisition, what are you doing on a lead gen and marketing front?
So I have a chief marketing officer that I have, and primarily a lot of our marketing is within LinkedIn. That's been the primary source. We do connection and then messaging sequence, just work trying to create relationships, direct relationships through LinkedIn. But we also do cold email campaigns. What else? I'm forgetting. I just had this conversation with my marketing officer this morning, and there's another one that'll come to me, but I want to start also
I'm assuming.
uh, play around with more marketing, more advertising, more working with AI, getting into I guess it's called zero click. And so it's less, oh, I know the other one is search engine optimization. We do a lot of that
Got
too.
it.
So, yep.
So you want to do more ads, more advertising. What's that going to look like? Is that going to be a LinkedIn ad, a Facebook ad, and what's the CTA at the end of it?
So the call to action the beginning of a sales process for us is somebody signing up for a 30-minute, what we call intro call. It's just a
Yep.
30-minute, we get to know each other, where are they coming from, where are we coming from. That might lead to either a longer discussion at that point if they have the time. If not, then we reschedule another discovery call or something like that. That's the CTA. We get them to a page called a book a call page. I don't know exactly what the advertising is going to look like and where. I imagine it's probably going to be a couple different social media platforms.
Cool.
I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, fair enough. And with the sales process, are you the one running that, or do you have a sales team as well?
So currently I am running it because at the end of 2024, I was not happy with the trajectory of where our sales and marketing were going, marketing and sales. And the reason is because many people that were showing up to our calls were when we were asking them, what was the reason that you agreed to this call? So many people were saying, you're persistent. Or, yeah, I really liked your profile on LinkedIn. That's not any type of buying indicators. It's not, I don't see interest in that. So we rebuilt our marketing, all of our marketing, messaging, and sales from the ground up. And I hired also a chief revenue officer. And it was the new sales framework was rolled out in the last 60 to 90 days. In order for that really to work out well, and for me to be able to then hand that off to other salespeople in the future. I've had salespeople in the past, but in order to do that, my CRO wants me to be on the calls for now, and I want to see this sales framework working, improve it, and massage it, get it better, get the things we need, the automations too. Not just the framework and what we're saying, but also the whole infrastructure behind it, which is all the automation, the CRM, the what we've got going on with that.
Got it. So you made some changes in the last 60 to 90 days. What were some of the biggest tweaks that you guys made to the sales process?
Like I said, we rebuilt it from the ground up, a value based sales process.
Got it.
It took the first half of the year to get this going. My CRO, many different clients, finding the value. Where is our value? So we went from a company that was selling peer advisory group. Here you come to CIO Mastermind, you get membership and in a really great and unique peer advisory group and some coaching and things like that, to what you said in the beginning. We help tech leaders become influential business executives. We help them drive strategy and be in alignment with the rest of the C suite, because that's really what we're doing. So that was all rewritten. Our
Yeah.
go to market messaging was completely revamped. Our campaigns were stopped and rewritten. And our ICP, our ideal client profile, was set in stone, and my marketing officer and who we're going after and what we're saying completely different. And we had a dip in the number of calls for a while. We went dry there. But man, the leading indicators, now that we're running those campaigns, we're doing it now, is amazing. Everything is in the green. I've never seen anything so high on not seen the level of engagement on our website like it's been ever before. That too, a lot of stuff on our website's been changed. Tracking has been put into place. Infrastructure for just tracking all of our campaigns. Where are people coming from when they do sign up for a call, or when they sign up for a package? Man,
Got
I'm
it.
telling you, everything was rebuilt.
That's powerful. I guess with that in mind, when you think of the vision and where you want to take the company in the next, let's say, 12 months, are there any specific targets that you're aiming towards, revenue or otherwise?
Yeah, so we are a small company. We're sub 1 million. One of the goals is a million with no employees. I think that we could do that. I plan on having employees. It's against
What do you
employees. I
mean?
think that
What do you mean no employees though? Because you've got the CRO, you've got the CMO.
I contract those out.
I see. So no
Yep,
W-2s.
correct. That's right.
Got it. Okay, so 1
So
million plus.
I
So
am a W-2 because for tax purposes and things like that, it's best that
yeah, that's
I'm
understandable.
an employee. But you get it. Yeah. So yeah, through automation and through the tools and the infrastructure that's available out there, my goal as an engineer, a civil engineer, because I'm I have the an engineer's mind. I want to build the infrastructure so strong and so solid that it can handle that amount of revenue before we were needing to do W-2s. That's just a goal
Mhm.
that I have.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm super curious. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge to making that happen?
The biggest challenge right now is just grabbing more of the market at this point and getting our systems, that sales framework to work. Well, that it is working. Everything is working. In fact, even since we've installed this new framework, literally our average client value has gone up more than 40%. We
Hmm.
didn't have packages before. And CRO is like, yeah, let's put these packages together. Automatically, everyone is, well, I want that middle package, which is 45% more than what our average client was buying from us.
Yeah, powerful.
Yeah.
So really it's about grabbing more of the market, increasing brand
Yep.
awareness, and dialing in the sales even further than it already has been.
Correct.
What is the best way for people to reach out to you to actually work with you?
CIOmastermind.com. Visit our website. My email is scott@CIOmastermind.com. Feel free to reach out to me. I recommend signing up for that intro call. If there's people that want to learn more, understand what we're doing, if they have people they need to work with, or if people, and this would be a good partner relationship, that'd be fine too.
Awesome. I love it. Any final words before we wrap up?
Final words. What would be a good final word?
Hmm. What advice would you give to people that are thinking about getting into coaching, getting into consulting?
Boy, I tell you really can go so much further, so much faster when you're learning what you don't know and you're allowing the professionals on who do know, give them the space. It was a tough investment. I going into out of 2024, I had absolutely no debt in the company, no personal debt, even the home and everything was really comfortable. But you know what? I'm like, I saw the writing on the wall. I'm like, I have got to switch around. I've got to change around the sales and the marketing. And that's going to take an investment. That's going to take personal me putting into the company. And so
Mm,
I found some of the best people on those fronts to work with. And it wasn't easy making those decisions, but I knew that I had to. And man, I'm telling you, you got to do it. Find some good people to work with. If you've got a good niche, if you've got a good product, a service that you know that all you need is just some more people, man, do it. Invest in it. It'll
love
turn back. And I get that. And here's the reason why I did that. A number of years ago, after my mother passed away, and I had a just a she left me some money. It wasn't the most amount, but there it was, just sitting in a bank account. I called up a financial planner I know. He's really smart. I said, "Hey, I got this money. What should I do with it? It's just sitting there in an account. It's should I put it in my IRAs, some of these old IRAs that I got, or in the stock? Should I give it to you?" He's the knowing about your company and everything, the best thing that you could do is put that into your company
it.
because the return on that
It's going to be much
you
higher.
could get at most 5x 5, maybe even 10x. 10x would be out of this world if you could do that in the stock market. But it's easy to get 100x if you put that into your company and you do it right.
Yeah.
Man, okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I love that. That's phenomenal. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I've invested well over six figures in just my own personal growth. So I
Yep.
completely agree with that. Scott, thank you so much for your time today.
It's been awesome. I appreciate it.
Anytime. So that
Okay.
wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go to CIOmastermind.com, schedule your free intro call with Scott. You can also email him, scott@ciomastermind.com. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.